users. So this is a 3-part tutorial on the money request procedure for this year. 3 parts because there will be the budget plans, budget requests, and reimbursement requests. So what are these? As you can see here in the table, this is basically a summary of the situations and requirements needed for you to do these specific money request procedures. I'll just try to summarize these 3 really quick before we go in depth to each one. So first, the budget plans. These happen at the start of the year, and these are basically your initial budget projections. It is the VP or ASEC that is mostly in charge of this. Next is your budget requests. These happen a month during the year and from further budget projections. So what this means is that if you are, for example, planning a project or an event and a specific expense revenue transaction happens, then you would have to file a budget request if ever you need some more money that wasn't stated in your initial budget plan. And the last is the reimbursement request. These happen during the year and it's only for urgent and justified needs for money. So, yun, if it happens less than 10 days before the project or the event that you would need a specific amount of money, you would have to submit a reimbursement request, and if it is approved, you would have to spend for this expense first and be reimbursed later on. So now let's go in depth. Okay, so this is part 2 of the tutorial, so we will be focusing more on the budget requests. So what I will be talking about will be first, what is a budget request? The next would be what is the requirement for making a request, and then the procedure for making a request. So first, what is a budget request? A budget request is made to request for money that was not initially stated by the VP or ASEC in the budget plan. So for example, you are in the midst of planning for your project or event and you foresee a budget or an expense that wasn't really stated in your initial budget plan at the start of the year. That is when the budget request form takes its role. So next is what is the requirement for making a request? Budget requests must be made at least 10 days before the money is needed. The 10-day period gives the VP and ASEC enough time to collect the money from the bank. So we are not saying that it's strictly 10 days before that you need to notify us. It can be greater than the 10 days as long as it isn't less than the 10 days needed. So 10 or more days will be fine to submit a budget request form. So next, I'll be talking about the procedure for how to submit a budget request basically. I'll be looking through my flowchart and explaining this to you through this form. So first, the committee VPs will have to fill up the budget request form if they see that there will be a budget or expense needed while they're planning. So how to fill up this form? Basically, you put in the info here. So first, committee. I chose finance. Amount, let's say it would be 1,000. Then date needed. Date needed is basically when you would need us to give you the money basically. Project name, so I would say get set. And next is purpose of budget request. So in get set, I would need to print my reviewers. So I need reviewer printing, purpose of each item or service, usually just to describe it more if it isn't as straightforward as reviewer printing. So I would just put here logistics. And the last part is the price of each item or service. So for example, we would want to be specific also here. So if for example, I would print, let's say 100 reviewers, 100 reviewers. And then we would have to also specify that it is 10 pesos each, just to be specific. So let's try to be very specific in indicating the purpose of this budget request. After that, all you have to do is submit the budget request form. So what happens after you submit the form is that the committee fin head that you have to be notifying them about the specific request that you have made or that you have submitted this form, and your committee fin head will take note of the budget requested and relay the information to me, the fin VP Samu, or Dave. So once we are notified, we will determine if the request is justified. And after that, we will ensure that it is reflected in the committee budget projections. So basically, we would just try to update the budget plan that you gave us at the start of the year. After that, we would confirm the amount needed with the committee fin head, and they would confirm again with the committee VP or ASEC, and after that we would provide the money as specified on the date needed. So that is basically what happens with the budget request form. That was pretty straightforward, I hope, and I hope that you understand what I was saying and the procedure For more information or if you have any clarifications or questions, kindly ask me, Samu, or Dave, and we will try to address that concern as soon as possible. So the next part of this 3-part tutorial will be more on the reimbursement request form. Thank you for watching!